Is SpaceX any closer to the Starship's second test flight? It has been several months since we last saw the Starship take flight. Since then, SpaceX has made numerous changes to the craft, the most significant being Booster 9. However, after months of working on this upgraded booster, questions remain if SpaceX has made any meaningful progress compared to its predecessor. Let's talk about the difference in testing between Booster 9 and Booster 7, how SpaceX's testing process has evolved in the last few months, and what we can expect to see in the future. SpaceX, a company celebrated for its relentless progress, consistently leaves rocket enthusiasts in awe with each successive test it undertakes. Notably, they have now accomplished a pioneering breakthrough in the static fire testing process of Super Heavy Booster 9. This achievement marks a significant leap beyond their earlier static fire trials, including those involving Super Heavy Booster 7 in the past. The Starship tests conducted by SpaceX have consistently ignited widespread discussions. The rocket's evolution, engine performance, the valuable insights gleaned from each test, and its readiness for real-world flights all hinge on the outcomes derived from these thorough and precise trials. During its development, Booster 7 embarked on a series of extensive tests starting in May 2021. However, its journey was marked by challenges. Unlike immediately testing all 33 engines together, the process involved gradual progression. This meant conducting trials on smaller groups of engines and static fire tests. Booster 7 underwent numerous tests, and a considerable amount of time was invested to move towards the goal of testing all 33 engines in unison. Despite the significant effort, it still didn't attain a 100% success rate. In fact, one of its test attempts ended in a disastrous explosion in July 2022. An accidental ignition of a combination of methane and oxygen gases triggered flames that swiftly consumed the launch pad. This resulted in an explosion that resembled a scaled-down fuel-air bomb. The ensuing blast and shockwave were substantial, and the flames persisted for around 2 hours, posing a grave threat to the remaining parts of the launch pad and the thrust structure. The flames even extended outward in multiple directions, exacerbating the situation. Because of the inherent risks linked to these static fire tests, the powerful force generated during the trials could potentially break glass and pose a danger to nearby residents. Consequently, every time SpaceX carries out a test fire with its vehicle, the company takes proactive measures by issuing advance warnings. This step is taken to safeguard the safety of residents who continue to reside in the Boca Chica village during the testing periods. The consequences of the static fire incidents on the local community and environment appear to have left the residents unsatisfied. However, they can now find relief in the fact that they no longer need to worry about such damage. In the recent static fire test conducted on Booster 9, SpaceX showcased a significant departure from the static fire incidents associated with Booster 7. Let's delve into the comparison between the two static fire events of SpaceX's impressive booster rockets. During the static fire test of Booster 7, debris was forcefully propelled upward and spread across a significant area. This situation was particularly evident in the case of Starship's launch on April 20th. The heat from the launch pad exposed the concrete to intense heat, causing rapid deterioration. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk described this effect as a rock tornado. The incident led to considerable damage to the Raptor engines of Booster 7, resulting in significant harm to the launch platform. Particles were scattered over a considerable distance, with concrete even being propelled into the ocean. This posed a risk to the adjacent fuel storage tanks, situated in silos near the launch pad. In a departure from previous incidents, a noteworthy change occurred on August 6th during the Booster 9 test. This time, the test merely produced a mild surge of water vapor that rose through the tank farm. The exhaust was strikingly cleaner than ever before, a sharp contrast to the Booster 7 test where water and vapor swiftly mingled with the dust, creating a visible settling effect. During the Booster 9 test, the water streams effectively engulfed the flames. Upon observation of the entire launch area, it remains remarkably clean, almost as if nothing occurred. This is in stark contrast to SpaceX's continuous efforts to repair and repaint the launch pad after each Booster 7 test. Additionally, they have accomplished a complete overhaul of the Stage 0 launch pad, replacing the concrete beneath the booster with a sturdy steel plate and implementing an advanced water deluge system. The primary purpose of the water deluge system has two main aspects. First, it serves to absorb a significant amount of the heat and thrust generated by the rocket's engines, thereby protecting the launch platform from potential damage. Second, it plays a crucial role in reducing the dispersion of harmful particles into the air during the engine ignition process. This not only ensures the safety of the surrounding environment, but also safeguards the equipment in the vicinity throughout the engine testing phase. Moreover, the new Raptor ignition sequence has been notably streamlined. The ignition process now operates with greater speed, requiring less time to initiate. Despite the static fire test running for 2.74 seconds instead of the intended 5 seconds, SpaceX achieved success in its endeavor. Comments by SpaceX on the video conveyed that both the launch pad and the launch vehicle appeared to be in good condition. While we currently lack specific data on the exact cooling efficiency of the steel plate, it's clear that the overall safety has been significantly improved compared to previous setups. It's important to note that the static firing tests conducted, while not at maximum power, still provide ample assurance that this new system will perform effectively when it's put to the test in the future. As for the 4 engines that experienced premature shutdown during the testing process, this occurrence might not hinder the company's progress significantly as they move forward with their next phases. Several factors could have contributed to the early halt in engine thrust. One possible explanation could be rooted in the complex interaction between pressures and temperatures within the engine itself. A small deviation in the ignition process could lead to an early shutdown, emphasizing the meticulous balance needed to precisely coordinate the ignition of these advanced engines. Reflecting on the past, we see that after the static test of Booster 7, it took 70 days until the actual launch occurred. Hence, it's reasonable to consider that a comparable time frame might be anticipated for the testing of Booster 9. To build strong assurance in Starship's capability to launch and safely journey a considerable distance from the launch site, SpaceX might need to conduct several additional test runs with all 33 Raptor engines on Booster 9. Although the prospect of replacing engines on Booster 9 cannot be dismissed entirely, if such a scenario were to arise, the vehicle would need to undergo a cooling and spinning process akin to the one done on the Raptor engine pumps before the static fire incident took place. In the process of the chill and spin test, all 33 Raptor engines that are affixed to the rocket, along with their pumps, are accelerated to their operational speeds. These pumps play a critical role in delivering fuel, methane, and oxidizer, which is liquid oxygen, to the combustion chamber of the engines. By initiating the spin-up of the pumps and subjecting them to cooling, SpaceX can replicate the conditions that the engines will encounter during an authentic launch. In the chill phase of the test, the pumps are cooled down to extremely low temperatures, utilizing cryogenic propellants, specifically liquid methane and liquid oxygen, which are commonly referred to as methalox. This step holds significance because the propellants in space are at exceptionally low temperatures, and it's crucial for the engines to function dependably even under such frigid conditions. The spin component of the test involves spinning the pumps at their intended operational speeds. This practice serves to ensure that the pumps are properly balanced and capable of efficiently delivering the propellants to the combustion chamber when the engines are ignited during an actual launch. It's essential to highlight that this test doesn't involve igniting the Raptor engines. Rather, it's a critical pre-flight procedure that readies the engines for a subsequent static fire test. Once the spin test is successfully completed, Booster 9 advances to the next phase, which is the static fire test itself. The unique aspect of the static fire test is that the engines are ignited for a very brief period while the vehicle remains stationary on the ground. This test serves as a crucial data-gathering exercise for SpaceX's engineers. It allows them to collect essential information about various factors, including thrust generated by the engines, fuel consumption rates, internal pressure levels, and temperature variations. By analyzing these data points, SpaceX's team can make any necessary adjustments to optimize the engine performance and overall system behavior before proceeding to an actual launch. After a successful static fire test, it will be interesting to see what SpaceX decides to do in the upcoming weeks with Booster 9. Have they collected enough data to attempt Starship's second test flight, or will they conduct more tests before going all in? What do you think? Is the progress shown in the testing phase of Booster 9 compared to Booster 7 substantial enough to proceed with a launch? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.